Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. A little bit of a different setting. Usually we're here at nighttime, but a little bit earlier today because I decided to take my little bro, who we'll have here on in a second, to go see Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish, which is directed by John Crawford. I'm not sure if he directed the first one. Um, and well, it is what you would expect from the sequel from Puss in Boots. It is follows the adventures of Puss in Boots once again, voiced by Antonio Banderas, and he's on his last life, and he has to now embark on a huge adventure to get the last wish from a shooting star which landed on their Earth millions of years ago. And he is reunited with Kitty Softpaws, voiced by Salma Hayek, as well as this dog, which they give a name towards the end, but just in case any of you guys do not want to get spoiled by Puss in Boots, I will not spoil that aspect. Um, Solid early, so it doesn't come out till Christmas Day, so this is a pretty early review. So I won't spoil anything, just in case anybody's any fanatics out there for this stuff. Um, this will be pretty short because I don't have much to say about it other than two aspects which I found to be fairly interesting, and the rest I found to be expecting, especially seeing the trailer for it. Um, I think that it's visually nice, quite visually nice. It reminded me a lot about Into the Spider-Verse in terms of its action sequences, because they play a lot in different varieties. So, like, a lot of times when the characters are just talking to each other, it feels like 3D animation, and then when they get to their action sequences, it plays out a lot like a comic book, a lot like comic book strips. So a lot of the scenes are slowed down, and the animation turns into, I want to say, like 2D animation or some sorts. I'm not sure, but it's kind of reminds me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse in terms of the overall action and the overall quality too. I thought it was very fun and colorful. I thought the music was also fun too. I thought it had some charm and flair to it. Um, but outside of those aspects, I can't say that much about the story. I feel that the story is pretty predictable. You know how everything's going to go down. Pretty expecting messaging, especially once you wrap your head around the fact that Puss is on his last life, and you get these ideas, of course, about finding genuine happiness, and of course, accepting things for the way they are and appreciating what you have. It's pretty easy messages to find in this movie. Um, and as an overall piece, I feel that the original is stronger in terms of visuals. I think that it's more colorful and more expressive, but I feel that it does that a lot because it doesn't have a lot else to offer beyond that. So it's kind of pushing its visuals quite a bit. Like the opening sequence, it's like just a big colorful splash, and um, and it feels a lot like the movie's kind of pushing that because it kind of knows itself, almost like, oh, I don't have much of a story to offer, so I'm just going to push these visuals onto you and hope that you get some kind of response to it. And it's very fast too. This kind of just goes very quickly. We're at one point here, and then we're one point here, and then we're at the final act, and it's like, pretty what is it? Pretty quick in terms of the pace, and I felt that was a bit of an issue, especially when it came to developments, because a lot of the villains, one of them played by Florence Pugh, um, just felt very unnecessary. Especially the one played by John Mulaney, it just felt very, very unnecessary. Um, and um, it's it's what I would expect from a sequel from Puss in Boots, but also just in general of animated features as of late. I liked the original Puss in Boots, mainly for its animation style, and I felt that it was just more of an engaging story. Um, this one, again, colorful, expressive in certain areas, and has a sound music, but outside of that, it's fairly hollow, and it's what you expect from a sequel, and there are little things that they suggest for the future, which I will leave to you when you see the film, that are interesting. But it's pretty. It's what's the word for it? I wouldn't even say fair. it's like, how do I put this? It's like the equivalent of like if it went to streaming. Like it's something that you expect to see on streaming, not necessarily in the theater because they're pushing this to be an exclusive release in theaters. It has that kind of quality, or at least that kind of expecting quality when I say a streaming release. So it's colorful. It has some level of expression. It has a sliver of tenderness to it, especially in some areas. Um, but it's too quick and too hollow and just too predictable and just, just too expecting. You know what you're getting when you come to see this film. Um, so that's my thoughts on it. Here's my little bro. Hello. So what did you think of the film?
It was pretty interesting, but most of the time it was just pretty weird. I mean, the villain of the actor, he did a good role, but the character himself was just pretty off sometimes. But I really interested was the score of the music. They did really good on that. But most of the time, I liked the story of it, but everything else was perfect. But one thing I would say is that they just, shit, I forgot what it was called. But yeah, the story was just very, I'll just say very very surprising at the end. The movies, like every movie at the end, just like a Marvel movie would be like ending with a surprise, right? It'll be something like that in Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. So yeah, but that's my thoughts on the movie. So yeah.
Yeah. So it, as you can see, it kind of hits its demo a little bit, and I think that for little kids, there was people who were clapping in our theater. So
Yeah.
so I mean, it does hit its demo. For me, I've seen, it's what you expect. It has those syndromes for sequel, and if you like a colorful splash, and if you just like to just see a lot of noise, I guess, then Puss in Boots: Last Wish might be up to par for you. But for me, I just thought it was just kind of pretty hollow and expecting. But those are our thoughts on Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Comes out on Christmas Day, so if you guys go check it out, go check it out. I don't know how this is gonna do when Avatar comes out. I don't know if it's gonna get buried or if it's actually gonna, rise above it. We'll see what happens. But that's it for our thoughts on the film. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. And that's it for us. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys maybe in another movie. Who knows? But we'll catch you guys. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next video.